everybody, it's Greg again from Heck Yeah, You Can Cook. And right now we're going to stop and I'm going to do a close-up of the ingredients. This is very important you see exactly how thinly and everything is sliced today. And then we'll go through some methods. This is a salmon dish. I'm going to call it Hope Salmon for my subscriber Hope, who specifically requested the salmon dish. So this is Hope Salmon, and hope everybody enjoys the video. These are the things you're going to need. Good thermometer, a 4-quart baking dish. All right, we've got some Pam olive oil spray, some honey. I'm using Badia's brisket rub seasoning, but any brisket type rub seasoning will work. I got some fresh filleted salmon, center cut, skin on. I prefer skin on, but you can do this with skin off. Chopped onion, apple, carrots. The apples are sliced. Sea salt, chopped mushrooms, those are portobellos, and extremely thinly sliced carrots. See how thinly sliced those are. Fresh asparagus that we'll be working with. As well, you'll need a large kitchen knife, very sharp, and a fillet knife as well. Once again, we're in Casa de Mama. She has gladly let us use Nana's kitchen as our house is getting some work done, and my kitchen is unavailable. You just saw the ingredients. This is what we're going to call Hope Salmon. Hope requested a salmon dish. I do like to cook with salmon, so we're going to start. I'm not going to insult you guys, but we have got a chopped onion here, and we're just going to start by adding about half of that onion to the pan. Okay, just kind of spread it out, just more than half. Spread it out. You're going to leave just a little bit to put on top of the salmon. We're going to take the fresh mushrooms and we're going to make almost a bed across the bottom with the mushrooms. As you can tell, this is very quick once you get everything prepped. And once again, you're going to leave just a little bit for a little later on. Carrots, as you can tell, these are very thinly sliced. I'm going to demonstrate right over here as thin as you can get the carrots. If you have a slicer that will cut them very thin, a gondola, be very careful with that. I'm not a big fan of those, but you can use that. Slice these extremely thin. This dish is going to cook very quickly. It only gets up to 145, so we're looking at that kind of thinness. And I've already cut the better part of a carrot in half here. We're going to take the carrot and we're going to add that to our onions and our mushrooms, leaving just a little bit at the top. Sorry about that. We did preheat the oven to 375 and it just let us know that it's finished. So here we got the apples sliced thinly. As you can tell, I'm going to show another one right here just in case you missed it before. Basically, you're slicing the apple in about that slice. That was a great catch, wasn't it? All right, out that goes down there. And I put all the apple in there. Now, over here, we're going to have our salmon. But before we go any further, take the sea salt, sprinkle a good pinch across the vegetable mixture, and I add just a little bit of the brisket seasoning at this time. Once again, not very scientific, we're just kind of getting some of that flavor from the brisket out there. Now we've got this salmon, and what we're going to do first is you do not add salt. Check your seasoning. This brisket rub has salt in it. And I don't like to add salt when it already has salt because there's probably more than enough. So I just put this on, you sprinkle it right onto the salmon. Now since this has skin on, we only have to do the one side. Make sure you rub it in good. The seasoning will go in and will bake with the natural oils that the salmon has and create a wonderful, rich flavor all the way through all the bites. Don't leave the sides undone. Kind of sprinkle a little bit and rub on the cutting board. Make a little trail. Some of the sides of the salmon that way. Now, I would suggest if you can get fresh salmon, or if that's a little bit above your budget, because it is quite expensive, there's nothing wrong with purchasing the frozen salmon. I've done that to make sure it's good and thawed out, and then as you use it for the dishes. Get the salmon rub on all the sides. We're going to take this salmon now, this time, we're going to transfer it to the top of the vegetable mix. Now you want your thickest cut of the salmon in the middle. That will be this one. That looks like that'll be mine. And you put that right like that. And next step is we're going to add the honey. Now this is where the little trick of the glaze comes in. As you can see, just take a nice squeezable honey and you just let it do its work. Pour right on top. Nothing secret or scientific about it. You don't want to fully cut it, and I don't spread mine out. I do add a little bit around the sides. And the reason I don't spread out is I don't want to crust, I want it to kind of soak in. Go back to the onions that we had. A little bit leftover onion, we're just going to sprinkle that across the top. Same thing for the mushroom. Sprinkle that a little bit across the top. And the carrots. It should sort of look like this when you get to that point. Next, we're going to come over to our asparagus. We're going to cut the ends off. Extremely difficult prep work. Take the asparagus just like this, and I spread it out across. Nothing scientific. Just spread that out across. Ham oil spray, olive oil spray. Lightly coat it across this. Like I said, you're just trying not to let it brown too much. And the prep is done. Probe thermometer. We're going to put this in. We're going to set it to 145. Find the thickest piece of salmon you've got, right in the middle. And when we come back, we'll see the finished product. Remember, preheat the oven to 375 before you start the prep. And we're going to cook to 145. There's it cooking, not too much longer. That's the kind of color you want in your dish. As you can see, we have got 1 degree to go. We're gonna go ahead and there it goes. My lovely assistant here is gonna pull it out of the oven for me as I turn off the timer. We're gonna get a close-up look at the salmon as it comes out. That is the way it should look like as it comes out. All right, now what I do here is I will take the asparagus off. Let me pass this to my lovely assistant here who's working the camera. All right, she's gonna hold that steady while I show you what we do now. So take the asparagus off to a waiting plate. Get the timer pulled out. As you can see, those are the colors you want with the salmon. You're gonna get the asparagus off. I would suggest thicker tongs. I'm at another kitchen. These are more like salad tongs, so it's hard to get the asparagus off. Pull all the asparagus off and let it cool. And you've got beautiful salmon underneath. You're gonna let this sit. It's gonna cool for probably another, I'd let it cool 10 to 15 minutes. As you know, when you pull things out of the oven, the temperature continues to go up. The salmon has been insulated when it cooks, should hold the moisture in. And I'll show it plated on some rice in just a little bit. I forgot to add, when you're plating this, as you can see, there's a lot of juice that has come out of the vegetables. Use that on top of the rice, and you'll see that in the plate. It's very hard for me to plate and film myself at the same time. So make sure you put the juices on top of the salmon, on top of the rice as you plate it, and there'll be a picture at the end of the video of the finished product.